call it waste matter, but fertilizing matter.
That's right.
Which replenishes the soil. So that the earth nourishes the animal world, and the animal world nourishes the earth.
That's right.
And that law was played out on a variety of levels. They also derive from that the nature of the Creator could not be monotheistic.
That's right.
Now listen to me now, because this is crucial. Many of us are in the business of trying to prove that African people, African spirituality was essentially monotheistic, i.e. the one God concept, i.e. one God with no other manifestations, one single manifestation of the Supreme Being. In African tradition, Africans do not advance the theology of monotheism. We see the Creator as occupying a pantheon. I'll explain that in a minute for those who may not understand. So the African spirituality is essentially pantheistic. What do we mean by pantheism? Pan means all. Theism is a Greek word for God, for the Creator. So it's pantheism means all the manifestations of the Creator in one. So that monotheism, you know, in as much as we talk about Pan-Africanism, all African oneness. Pan means all, it means one, all and one. So that the Creator is all and one. The Creator is many manifested in one. Are you with me, brothers and sisters? So in the African tradition, you will have the Supreme, but you will have many deities called the Orisha in Yoruba, or the in Kemet called the Nature. Are you with me, brothers and sisters? We need to understand this, because understand, brothers and sisters, this is what informs our action on earth. Our behavior, how we organize society and community, how we behave. The white boy and the Arab boy is by nature monopolistic, meaning he monopolizes everything. He's capitalistic. He would want to be the only controller and hoarder of all the wealth of the earth. So he perceives his God as being of the same nature. Are you with me, brothers and sisters? One God. Don't set up no rivals with me. Don't put no partners with me. God, you know, jealous. Their God is a jealous God. And they say it in so many words. Why should God be worried about rivals? So I ask you, why should God worry about rivals? A God you're talking about now, you know. But in the African tradition, our Creator occupies a community. It's part of a community. Even when we contemplate in the realm of the deity, we see a community. And that is why African people are endemically communalistic. So you have a chief nature, or a chief Orisha, or a chief Creator, and you have the many manifestations. And at every level, there is a male and a female. There are many Africans today from the motherland who are following some semblance of African tradition, who only focus on the male side. That is because we have become patriarchal in our thinking and our behavior after several hundred years under the Arabs and under the Europeans. We need to understand this, brothers and sisters. Finally, our ancestors observed the concept of the cycle of life. That every force within creation moves in a cycle. They saw Even all those thousands of years ago, our ancestors knew that the earth was round. While Whitey thought it was flat and square. We don't know that round already. So they are watching when they did a square of the earth, but they know the earth round. We were into shipbuilding and ship technology and sailing thousands of years ago. Remember the Olmec civilization in Mexico. Olmec civilization is African civilization. And the Olmec civilization was established over 1,000 years BC. Since we have to use for them calendar, make us say BC. We're talking about over 3,000 years ago. I'm saying Africans sailed from Africa 3,000 years ago into Southern America and established with the natives there a civilization which is the greatest civilization that the American continent has ever seen. That's right. And that's well documented. Read They Came Before Columbus by Ivan van Sertima. Our ancestors looked and saw the sun, the moon, the stars, the planet. How did they see the planet? Hear about the serious mystery? Where our ancestors, our Dogon ancestors from Mali, who saw the star Sirius B, plotted its orbit right up to 1990. Whitey went there, some of the greatest scientists went there. Spent one scientist, Martin Griol, spent 16 years living among them. Couldn't work out how they were able to plot the movements of that star, which they were able to see. How did they rationalize it? They said space beings must have come and told them. When they couldn't disprove anymore that our ancestors of Mali, these uncivilized primitive beasts, these heathens, were able to plot a star which their technology could not see. Are you with me, brothers and sisters? Our ancestors knew that the planets were round. They knew that the earth was moving in a cyclical orbit. They knew that it spins in a cyclical motion on its own axis. That's right. They knew how the other planets moved. They knew that the earth revolved around the sun, and the moon revolved around the earth. Our ancestors knew that. And they saw within nature itself. You plant a seed, you water the seed, it grows into a tree. The tree bears fruit. You pick the fruit, you eat the fruit, you put the seed back into the earth, and another tree was born. They derived from this the concept of the cycle of life. The notion that we as human beings never die. That there is always an internal aspect of our being that lives on and produces life and reestablishes itself, reincarnates itself. We don't need no Christianity. We don't need no Islam. You study Christianity and Islam till you drop down dead, you never learn this. And you're not meant to learn. You have to understand the difference between spirituality and religion.
Come on now, break it down.
You have to understand this.
Come on.
Spirituality, we say, is the holistic reverencing of Mary.
That's right.
And human cultivation. Divine human cultivation, which we'll explain in a minute. Religion is but adherence to a theological, to a system of theological doctrine, belief, and practice.
Yeah, that's right.
The emphasis on spirituality is to know Mary, know the Creator. The emphasis on religion is to know the doctrine of the religion and practice the doctrine of the religion and believe it. Spirituality is based on knowledge.
That's right.
Religion is based on belief. You believe at all costs.
Yeah.
Whether it is sensible, logical, or illogical, you believe. In these religions, you don't question God. In spirituality, you question God. Because God has all the answers. Mary has all the answers. So the difference between the African spiritualists and these alien religionists is the difference between a speaker who would come before you. When the speaker knows them subject, you can ask them any question.
That's right.
They're willing to answer. But you ask the speaker something they can't answer. They start insulting you.
Come on.
You ever seen that before?
Yeah.
So these gods of these alien religions don't want you to question them. Don't ask me a question. I gave you a mind intelligent man. I gave you the source of wisdom. But don't ask me a question. Don't use it. I just gave it to you to tempt you. The African knows that he and she is a god.
Yes.
Because a god is one who creates and sustains and enhances the quality and the value of what it creates.
That's right. Right.
We are born created in the image and likeness of the Creator. We are born sacred and divine. The European, the Arab is born in sin and shaped in iniquity. Understand the difference between the two. That is us, brothers and sisters. Don't it sound good?
Yeah.
Don't it feel good?
Yeah.
The power of African spirituality, when you are grounded in African spirituality, brothers and sisters, you have a divine purpose and objective in your life. Understand this divine purpose and objective, if you will. And if you don't understand it, you don't care to understand it, you're doomed to hell. The purpose, the divine purpose and objective of every African is to become Mary-like.
That's right.
Is to become like a god. Is to fulfill and manifest and command all the God-like qualities and essence that is in you. When you follow religions outside of yourself, it teaches dependency. We were created in the image and likeness of Mary. Meaning we look like Mary, we sound like Mary, we walk like Mary, we sing like Mary, we dance like Mary, we do everything like the Creator. When you create anything, you create it in your image. Look what the European and Arab has done to us. They have attacked the nature and image in which Mary has created us, and seek to create us in their image and after their likeness, as an inferior version of themselves. You look like me, talk like me, sing like me, walk like me, dance like me, draw like me, dress like me, do everything like me, because I am your supreme being. You think you're worshiping God? The white boy set up a religion. Him said the only way to get to God is through this. Him give you a white boy to worship. Him give you white words to say. What else do you expect? Him said dress white. Put on your suit and tie. That's the best way to dress to get to God. The Arab do the same thing. The highest expression of the Islamic faith is Arabic. So they set themselves up as the supreme authority upon the earth and over all humanity. So you've been denatured. You have been taken out